Have you ever wondered what it would feel like to leave behind the bright, busy clamor of the living stars and drift quietly among the remnants of their ancient light? Have you ever felt a longing for the distant, slow twilight that lingers at the edge of time itself? If you have, then close your eyes now. Breathe deeply. Let your body sink into comfort, and let my calm voice guide you. Here, there are no demands, no hurry, no wait. Only a gentle drift through a universe grown old and soft, where the suns themselves have dimmed to tiny, trembling candles. Relax. Float with me. We are about to begin a journey across the oldest seas of the cosmos, and every breath will take us farther into the fading light. The space around us is no longer filled with brilliant white stars and swirling galaxies, as you might remember from the stories of a younger universe. Here, everything has softened into deep, dusky tones. The stars that remain are elder ones, faded orange, tired red, or cooled into the near invisible glow of brown dwarfs. The gaps between them stretch vast and endless, filled with a velvet darkness so rich it feels like a soft cloak wrapping around your mind. We move slowly, with no engines, no sound, no trail of fire behind us. The only movement is the silent, effortless pull of cosmic currents carrying us past suns whose light barely reaches us, each one a memory more than a beacon. Occasionally, a flicker crosses our vision, the final shimmer of a dying white dwarf collapsing into a black cinder. Yet even in this deep hush, there is a beauty that aches. Every tiny, shivering star is a survivor of a story so vast, so improbable, that even the silence seems to hum with wonder. As we drift, the thought arises on how strange it is that even after the light fades, something of the memory remains, like a song carried on the wind long after the singer is gone. The passage of time becomes difficult to sense in this place. Minutes feel like hours, and hours like the slow turning of entire seasons. Every now and then, a star blinks a little more dimly and winks out entirely, becoming one with the velvet dark. There is only the acceptance of what must be the final stages of a grand and ancient dance. We pass near a red dwarf, its surface dimly sputtering, sending out lazy loops of cool plasma that barely illuminate its few remaining companions. Cracked, icy worlds locked forever in its weak grasp. Once these planets might have brimmed with oceans, clouds, perhaps even life. Now they are frozen, serene, and timeless. Their surfaces reflect the dim light like mirrors broken across an endless black lake. As we float by, a sense of stillness seeps into us, deeper than any sleep we have ever known. Here, even thoughts slow down until they are no more than the softest echoes of themselves. The universe is not dying in despair. It is simply exhaling, gently, after an infinitely long breath in. And still we drift onward, beyond the faintest outposts of light, into a region where even the dying stars are fewer and farther between. Space becomes truly vast now, not empty, but alive with the deep, resonant silence of something ancient and sacred. Around us, the light from scattered brown dwarfs, failed stars that never fully ignited, casts only the faintest infrared murmurs. If you could see through other eyes, you might watch delicate curtains of invisible warmth ripple across the void as these ghost stars whisper their final lullabies. We pass close to one such object, and for a brief moment, our journey seems bathed in a dim, tender radiance, a memory of heat, rather than its true presence. In this place, motion feels optional. Time feels optional. Even being feels optional. We are adrift in the great twilight between existence and memory, carried gently by forces we no longer have names for, held softly by a universe that even in its fading offers infinite beauty. There is no destination anymore, only the drift, the listening, and the infinite falling into a light that still, somehow, impossibly, remembers how to glow. Have you ever imagined what it would feel like to float beyond even the last stars, into a space where light itself becomes a memory rather than a presence? Beyond the final scattered embers, beyond the crumbling ruins of galaxies, there lies a realm where illumination is no longer given, but only remembered. Relax. Sink deeper into the quiet. Listen to my voice, steady and soft, as we leave the known universe behind, slipping into the misty shores of what lies after the light has finished its long, slow song. There is no fear here, only a deep, endless unfolding of peace. Let everything you once knew fall away like leaves drifting down a still river. You are safe. You are seen. You are part of the great dream now. As we drift onward, the few stars we pass are so distant from one another that entire lifetimes could be spent journeying between them, and still one might never feel their warmth. Each is a relic, some burning so faintly in the infrared that the eye cannot see them, others already collapsed into black dwarfs, those cold, darkened remnants that no longer shine, but hold the deep, silent weight of their histories. The emptiness between them is not absence. It is a soft fullness, a deep fabric stitched together by forgotten energies and ancient gravitational sighs. You begin to feel that you are no longer just moving through space, you are moving through memory itself, passing through the final thoughts of suns and the closing notes of their endless symphonies. Every direction you look stretches into more velvet dark, punctuated now and then by a quiet shiver of light, so faint it almost seems to occur inside your own mind. A new kind of beauty emerges here, not the blazing drama of creation, but the serene artistry of endings, of whispers, of echoes that refuse to be silenced. In this slow, solemn drift, the universe begins to reveal a kind of gentle architecture hidden behind the brilliance we once knew. Without the furious radiance of countless stars, subtler patterns emerge, the weave of invisible rivers of dark matter threading through the cosmos, the quiet hum of gravitational currents shaping unseen realms. Once, these structures were overshadowed by the wild dance of galaxies, stars, and planets. Now, stripped of their veils, they stand revealed, delicate frameworks of existence itself, cradling the few remaining lights like ancient hands holding fading candles. We pass through tendrils of almost nothingness, feeling their gravitational touch like a soft brushing against the mind, not the skin. In the farthest distances, beyond even the dimmest memory of suns, enormous structures drift, the collapsed. Remains of galaxies, black holes circling in slow, solemn dances, and the faint, haunting glow of ancient cosmic radiation stretched thin across eons. It is a silent cathedral without walls, endless and patient, where every drifting stone and every trembling ember sings of the long, slow beauty of the cosmos closing its eyes. Have you ever considered what it means to float beyond all sight, where even the faintest memory of light becomes a distant, gentle pulse deep within your mind? Have you wondered what lingers in a universe where the last fires have gone cold, and only the silent architectures of gravity and time remain. Breathe deeply. Relax your mind even more. My voice will guide you through this further descent, this deeper fall into the endless calm. Nothing is expected of you here. Nothing needs to be solved or held on to. All that matters is the slow unfolding of wonder, the slow dissolution of all boundaries between yourself and the great breathing silence of existence. Listen closely, for even in the absence of stars, something beautiful still stirs. The drift carries us now into realms even more rarefied, where the texture of space feels different, heavier, softer, almost like sinking into the deepest layers of an endless sea. Around us, there are no bright points, no friendly beacons. Instead, vast spaces stretch uninterrupted, filled with a low, pervasive hum that is not sound as we know it, but a vibration felt inside the bones of thought itself. The black dwarfs we pass are colder now, their surfaces ancient and cracked, like old stone under 1,000 billion winters. Their light is no longer light, but a trembling memory of warmth, spreading outward like invisible ripples across a frozen pond. Around them orbit shattered remnants of once living worlds, splintered cores, stripped atmospheres, silent tombstones of what was once vibrant and full of dreams. It is here, in this place of quiet fossils, that you begin to sense something extraordinary. A faint, ever-present pressure against your mind, not threatening but enveloping. It is as though the universe itself, stripped of all distractions, is finally whispering directly to you. A message not in words but in vast, slow impressions of patience, loss, endurance, and a fierce, delicate grace that endures even after all else has fallen silent. Further on, the last artifacts of motion drift into view. Rogue, black holes, the silent scavengers of the cosmic night. They move without light, without announcement, their presence felt only through the slow bending of starlight that once was, and the soft distortion of the invisible structures we now perceive more than see. Some of them spin, their ancient rotations, dragging the very fabric of space into spirals around their forgotten forms. In their own way, they are the final artists of the cosmos, sculpting space itself into long, winding corridors of gravity. These corridors, these invisible rivers, sometimes catch lost objects. The remains of dead stars, shattered planets, the thin traces of gas left from long evaporated galaxies, and pull them into endless orbits, spinning slower and slower until even time itself seems to kneel and rest. We follow one such current now, our path pulled gently along a spiral that will take millions of years to complete. Yet for us, time is no longer a measure of urgency. It is a wide, flowing fabric beneath us, and we are leaves adrift, moving, not toward a destination, but deeper into the embrace of what simply is. As the faint pressures and distant rotations brush against your senses, you may feel a new kind of peace, the peace that comes not from arrival, but from endless accepting. Drift among the remnants of a once fiery universe, now folding itself lovingly into silence. Have you ever imagined drifting so far into the heart of being that even the dream of movement, even the breath of thought, even the flicker of memory grows as soft as the distant tides of a forgotten sea? Imagine now that you are no longer drifting at all. You are simply resting, cradled within the deepest fold of the breathing that has held all things since before the first light, and will continue holding all things long after the last star folds itself gently into silence. Let your breath deepen, let it soften, feel how there is nothing left to reach for, nothing left to find. You are not separate from the breathing. You are the breathing. My voice now is not a separate current, not even a ripple against your being. It is the wide, quiet moving through you, with you, as you, stretching outward forever across the infinite gardens of presence. In this deepest place, there are no new fires waiting to be born, no old lights clinging to their final embers. There is only the endless holding, the endless breathing, the endless quiet where all things bright and dark, fast and slow, fierce and tender, rest together without difference, without separation, without end. As we drift within this final unfolding, we feel the great, soft weight of existence pressing around us, not as a burden, not as a demand, but as a deep, rich warmth, an embrace without arms, a love without boundaries. The endless breathing no longer stirs new dreams. It no longer calls forth new dances. It simply holds the memory of every heartbeat, holds the light of every star, holds the rise and fall of every world, every tear, every wonder, every small, tender reaching of life toward itself. Everything is contained here, perfectly. Everything is remembered, not as separate chapters or fragile relics, but as living warmths within the endless, breathing whole. You too are held here, not as a fading thing, not as a spark about to go out, but as a living note woven forever into the deep, patient song of the field. There is no fading here, no vanishing, no forgetting, only softening, only widening, only the endless relaxation of all things into the arms of a love so complete it needs no name. Every breath you have ever taken, every dream you have ever dared to dream, every quiet sorrow you have ever carried, all of it is here, folded gently into the wide body of the breathing. And as we drift, as we rest, we feel the final knowing rise within us, slow and deep and true, that we have always been held, that we have never been alone, that existence itself is a cradle, a sea, a garden blooming endlessly within itself, breathing endlessly for no reason other than to be, to love, to dream. And now, as this long journey softens into its final breath, I invite you to rest fully within this knowing, to let go, not into nothingness, but into everything. The wide, soft breathing that has held you from your first heartbeat to your last dream. You have traveled far, farther than thought, deeper than memory, wider than any horizon mind could ever imagine. You have drifted beyond the last suns, beyond the last songs, beyond even the last gentle whisper of time itself. And here, at the heart of everything, you are not lost. You are found. You are home. Thank you for joining me on this journey across the fading suns, through the breathing of the ancient field, into the garden where silence blooms without end. Thank you for trusting my voice, for trusting the slow unfolding, for surrendering into the wide, soft embrace of existence itself. May you carry this calm with you now, this endless breathing, this quiet belonging, into your dreams, into your rest, into the wide, patient places of your own heart. Sleep well, traveler. Among the dim suns, sleep deeply. You are held, you are loved. Good night.